All right.
Hello, McAuliffe Elementary. The purpose of this module is we're going to go over some behavior expectations, just a reminder of our blue binder, and then also we added some virtual expectations as well that we're going to go into more detail. So I'm Laura DeWitt. I'm a behavior analyst for the school district. I work district-wide K through 12, but my office is here at McAuliffe.
I'm Kate Adams, school social worker here at McAuliffe Elementary.
I'm Liza Niedermeyer. I teach first grade here at McAuliffe.
And I'm Jody Glazier. I teach third grade here at McAuliffe.
All right. So today you will be provided with information about our behavior resources that can be utilized during in-person and through virtual learning. So, next slide. So this is part of a series of kind of PD training we'll do about behavior. So we wanted to do this one first. We can talk about those virtual supports and virtual expectations. And then in the future, we're going to talk about that social emotional learning and universal mental health, especially second step. So Kate will go into more detail with that. And our goal is to get that out to you December 2nd. And then we'll talk about RCD. I know we had that training last year, and then COVID kind of happened, so we didn't get that running in full swing. So that will be in January, as well as Tina will do kind of a presentation on de-escalation. So that's kind of what we have set up, and that is a tentative timeline depending on what happens. Everything is tentative this year. All right, so just want to remind you all that there is a blue binder out there with McAuliffe's behavior expectations and school-wide. Jody's showing it, if you can see at the top of the screen there. If you don't have one, just see the office and they'll make sure you get one. And the blue binder just lays out some really nice things, but mostly it just talks about how in different environments in our elementary, it can be respectful, responsible, and safe, and it all kind of points back to those three qualities: respectful, responsible, and safe.
All right, so when you get your binder, what will you find in it? That's a great question. Throughout the binder, you will find different resources, techniques, and strategies to teach responsibility, respect, and safety to our students during their school days and within the community. Within the binder, there are expectations outlined for several different areas students access within their school day. It is important that you take the time to review the expectations so our students know what they should be doing and how they should be acting when in those locations. A great time to teach these expectations is before you go to that specific location, during morning meetings, or during your social emotional learning time. Don't forget to use supplemental books from our library to help deliver content in your lessons, and the list can be found in your binder as well. Also in your binder, you will have outlines of major and minor behaviors that we would help support. The blue binder lists those out for you as to what is considered a minor and what is a major. You can also access the Hastings Elementary Interventions website, where you would be able to report that behavior as the minor or major. Please know that 3 minors equals 1 major. And at that point, we would ask that you would bring complete a referral for the intervention problem solving team and come to a meeting every other Thursday to present that so the team can help problem solve around that. Also within the blue binder, we've come to realize that there aren't any of the RCD materials in there, but that will be something our behavior committee will be adding throughout the year. So as you're working with students who might be presenting some struggling or challenging behaviors, please remember to utilize your responsibility-centered discipline strategies. One other thing that you will find in your binder is how you would get support if needed. So there's major behavior staff action steps and what to expect if you call for support to come assist with the behavior. Remember, when assistance arrives, to please check in briefly to discuss the incident and expectations, but please do not have that discussion in front of students. And as we're transitioning into our distance learning, the behavior committee thought it was really important that we give you guys as staff members different strategies and tools to use with your students to get the best out of our distance learning time. So the positives that we have while going through this transition, even though it feels like it might be daunting, is that students have had the repetition of practicing appropriate Zoom and seesaw behavior. We've had sometime in the spring, even though we all know how that went, and then we've had September, October, and most of November. If teaching hybrid, there was an opportunity to get to know your students in person, so you were able to build those relationships. HOA has had their consistent groups going since the start of the year. And we will have consistency of schedules for students to have more opportunities for direct content being taught. Make your virtual classroom as similar as you can to your physical classroom. Same verbals, prompts, demeanor, attitude, and passion for teaching.
All right, just like Kate said, our distance learning model should just be exactly like your classroom as much as you can, so to keep that normalcy. So we thought it would be best if we keep the 4-3-2-1 going. So that what that means is that classrooms can come up with what that would look like when you're distance learning. You can create that together. What does it look like, sound like, feel like, so the kids have some ownership in that. We also talked about having the visuals and handouts to explain to parents. So I know as a third grade team, we've been creating visuals and handouts for expectations for parents, for expectations for kids, reward systems and different things like that. So the other thing that I just talked about is the reward systems. I know as a team, we brainstormed ideas. So if you need ideas, you can come to any of us for that support. There's so many great things that you can be doing with your kids, and they love working towards those rewards. Having Second Step available with little handouts. Kate, I know, has some, and she's gonna hold up those like mini ones. Otherwise, you can use the ones in the Second Step to remind them. I know Bernie's working on some that specifically will be going with her program. So be thinking about that for all your students, is to have that visual available. As far as specialists go, PSA, SPED, they really are so knowledgeable and can help support our students. So we have been talking actively with our special ed staff or specialists, and they gave a wealth of knowledge of how they can help us and support those kids during Zoom times to keep them engaged, reward times. So just be creative with planning with your specialists and PSA so that all students can be successful in this distance learning model. We just put an idea down there because we're gonna be using our specialists also to join breakout rooms and help support kids in there as well, just like they would be in the classroom. So thinking of it as a push in model versus push out. So they're coming to us and supporting us within Zoom. Virtual behavior support. So beginning on November 30th, it's okay to review students and what they're review with students their expectations, what you want them to be doing. And it's okay to step back from the curriculum because we really need to focus on that first. And even just doing mental health check-ins with your kids. That's something I've been trying to do is, see how they're feeling each time before we start a Zoom meeting, or see how they're feeling after the Zoom meeting, because there's so many things that are going on in our world right now. If we don't ask the questions, we're not going to really know how they're doing. So I think that's really important for you to be doing as well. Going back to the blue binder expectations on Zoom. So we came up with a list. And actually I think Laura put them in your mailboxes. They're even 3-hole punch that you can put into your binder as well. I know in third grade, we took some of these ideas and we made it a little bit cutesy to pass out to the families, but we want the kids to follow the teacher's expectations. I know Matt said we are like golden. So if we say it, the kids are probably gonna do it versus their parents. So follow those teacher expectations. Was the number one. We thought iPads being fully charged as an expectation to start the day, and if they have the charger, they should have it available to them if they are running low by the end of the day. Stay in that learning space is very important. We talked about asking to share your screen, asking to annotate or to chat, and practicing that with them. Participating is a big thing. So either ways you can get your kids to participate too. You can use whiteboards. You can use the emojis, different things like that to make sure the chats and annotations, the whiteboards are great. So try to keep using those things as well. Stay on mute until you're called on, we talked about, was very important. Just like you would in the classroom, you wait until you're called on unless it's like a group response, and the teacher would acknowledge that. Arrive to your Zooms on time with your materials needed, and you can specifically put what you need for your students, even on the Zoom activities and within Seesaw. And then most importantly, have fun. If you're having fun, the kids are gonna have fun.
Okay, and this slide is similar to the slide that Jody just did, but this one focuses more on the expectations for individual work. So when beginning distance learning on November 30th, it is okay to take time to review with your students what they are expected to do. And this is really important because they are fully working from home now. So the expectation is going to be different for them versus in the hybrid model. So it's really important to explain to them what you're expecting out of them when they're working on their individual work off of their Zooms. So number one is just follow the teacher expectations, and that goes follow the expectations for your homeroom teacher, or if you're working on something for speech or a specialist, just make sure you're following the expectations of that given teacher, which is important to explain to the little kiddos. Number two is complete activity and turn it in as directed by the teacher, or distance learning overview. So reminding them that they have that distance learning overview, and it gives them the instructions of where and how to be turning things in, since sometimes it might be a hard copy that they need to post a picture of, or maybe it's just a Seesaw assignment that they need to turn in. Number three is try every assignment first. It's really, really important that we are seeing what the kids know. So if we encourage them to try their assignment on their own and then ask questions to their care provider when their care provider is available, but getting them to be able to be independent and try it first by themselves is going to show us what they know, and it's just going to be helpful to whoever is caring for them that day also, that at least they come home from work or wherever and their student has tried to do their work and didn't just leave it all for the afternoon, because that is extremely frustrating for a lot of the adults in this situation. Number four, same as the Zoom, is stay in your learning space. It's important to line out what a learning space looks like, what's an important learning space, and how to use that learning space for the kids. And then number five, do your best work. Same as if we were in school hybrid, they should always be doing their best work. Can you click to the next slide, Miss Jody?
Sure. Yep.
Thank you. Okay, and then distance learning and virtual behavior support for parents, caregivers, adults, guardians, whoever might be with the students while they're working. We thought this was important to line out to show parents, because when they were in the classroom for the hybrid model, they had us to rely on and to kind of be working with them. But now that they're at home for the whole time, the parents are going to be more involved and working with them more. So to give the parents something specific of what we are expecting out of them, we thought was really important. It would make the whole switch go smoother. So for number one, we said support your child by getting them to Zoom on time, especially at the start. So we put little ideas. We can give verbal reminders for lessons, or even set alarms for those more forgetful or younger students that really need that reminder. Or especially if the parent isn't with the student during the day, they can set an alarm to remind the kids when they're at daycare or kids campus or wherever they might be working for the day. Number two, support your child by helping them with assignments without doing it for them. So this goes back a little bit to having the students try the assignment on their own first. If a student gets stuck, obviously we want their caregiver to be there to support them. But again, we really want to know what the student knows. So we gave the example of having the caregivers not write stuff for them, not whispering answers to them when they're on Zoom. And that if you do see them struggling with a lesson during either Zoom or while they're working individually, is to give them kind of example problems and work through those problems with them. And we could remind parents also that if they need help with example problems, or if they did see their student struggling, that they can always reach out to the teacher when they need. Which leads right into number three, reach out to teachers if you need assistance. Just really reminding them that yes, this is hard, and that's why we're here to assist them in whatever type of way they may need. Number four is schedule screen time with iPads. We thought this was really important because a lot of times we have the students going on their iPads just all day long now that they're available. And at this level, we don't have a lot of students that can manage their time to the best that they can. So setting timers for when they should be working on school activities, how long they should be taking on school activities, and just reminding them that this is their school iPad, so they should be doing schoolwork on their iPad. And then a little reminder to do paper and pencil assignments first before they do their stuff on their iPad. And then number 5 is stay up to date with your child's learning. So check distance learning overview for your Seesaw inbox messages, and check it with your child at the end of the day to make sure that their work is completed. And then another little reminder is just that as we're working with these adults, parents, caregivers, guardians, that they are all in different situations. We may think this is really helpful to give to parents, but they might be in a place where they don't want to or can't receive this information. So since we individualize stuff for our students in the classroom, giving different accommodations and modifications where they are needed, it's going to be really important for us to do that for families as a whole during distance learning also.
All right, so these are other resource people that aren't on the presentation today, but the group of people that are here today are like a subgroup that were willing to help out with school-wide expectations and the virtual piece of it. And you can contact any one of these teachers that or administration that can help. They can all help you with behavior things that you're going through within your classroom or distance learning wise. Anything else, ladies?
Thank you for taking this time to go over these expectations.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Have a great day.